All right, everyone, here we are. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2025. Hey, before we get started this year, I think you should enjoy your journey. Wherever you are on your journey, enjoy it. Whether that is in gaming, in another part of your life, we are all on a journey. And there are many steps, right, on our journeys. But I feel like part of what makes us happy is to enjoy each and every step that we are currently on. Yes, the step that you're on today may not be your ultimate step, your dream goal or whatever, but a little bit like, let's say you had a dream house. You can have your dream house, you can work towards it, you can build it, you can make it happen, of course, but that doesn't mean that it should prevent you from enjoying the house that you're currently in necessarily, right? You can make of your current abode as good as possible, as enjoyable as possible, and you can love it for what it is. So that's what I mean by enjoy the journey. Yes, we all have goals and we all have future plans, but take a moment, smell the roses, enjoy the flowers, and enjoy where you are today as much as possible, right? I understand that there are many things that might prevent that, but I think it behooves us to always kind of just take a step back and be appreciative of the blessings that we do have because it cannot be bad, right? Okay. Quick video for you today. First of all, I apologize for having taken so long before getting back to you. It's been over a week since the new year. But I wanted to improve the quality of the video and the audio, so I did a little bit, shopping around and some things in order to hopefully have a slightly, just ever so slightly better presentation. From what I can see on my screen, things have improved. Who knows how that is going to translate across with all of the YouTube compression and everything like that. But hey, we can only do the best that we can. Since today is today, and I wanted to talk about the whole Astro Ball winning game of the year thing, but that's like 3 weeks old now, which basically in tech terms or in internet terms means that's like 3 centuries ago. I wanted to talk about games that I'm excited by, but that again was an idea closer to the start of the year, which means it was like at least, 3 or 5 decades ago. So you know what? Let's just take it from today and move forward. Xbox recently just announced their developer direct. Okay, they're going to have it, I think it's January 23rd that is going to have it, which probably means it's going to be January 24th for me, but hey, that's just how time zones work. Yeah, so it should be an exciting show. I have to say this, okay? For at least a decade, the refrain was Xbox has no games. And I think in 2025, finally, okay, we can no longer use that. And we must actually give credit where credit is due. Xbox has games. The problem is so does everyone else. But we'll get into that later. Here are some of the games that Xbox should bring out this year. And I say should because unfortunately, somehow it seems that Xbox always manages to clench defeat from the jaws of victory. So we're going to go with the hopeful approach. Here are the games that they should have. At least some of them, right? Like I don't know all the games. Maybe Fable. That looks good. Maybe South of Midnight. Actually, South of Midnight I think has a confirmed release date and everything. So hopefully South of Midnight, and that looks phenomenal. South of Midnight is a fantastic looking game, and it's exactly the kind of game that I would want. South of Midnight is the kind of game that would have made me buy an Xbox. There. Doom the Dark Ages looks phenomenal. I've never really liked any of the Doom games, but this one, I mean, listen, sometimes it's like something doesn't have to appeal to you personally for you to recognize that it's amazing. And what we saw of Doom the Dark Ages, Jesus, dude, phenomenal. It's like a gamer's game. Like, people that are like, wow, could just I feel like there's space for that. We have had so many diversity, so much diversity in games. We have games that take themselves extremely seriously. We have games that are beautiful. We have indie games. We have all sorts. And sometimes it's nice to go back to the beginning. kind of like where it all germinated from, which is basically there's a dude, there's bad guys, and there's a gun. And the problem is solved, basically. And that's what Doom the Dark Ages looks like. So that looks fantastic. They have Disavowed coming out, trash. So it's fine. It's Xbox. They are supposed to have a bad game. And then they have the Outer Worlds 2, which should be a perfectly above average game. But actually, if they've improved on certain things, it could be a frankly downright excellent game. Because I know some people thought that the Outer Worlds 1 was downright excellent. I think it's above average, but this one looks like a much more improved version of that particular thing. The only thing that makes me give kind of have pause when it comes to the Outer Worlds 2 is that they still seem to be using the whole Bethesda formula. And listen, Bethesda formula for RPGs, I think, is frankly overrated. I think that it gives you the illusion of choice. I think that it presents you with options such as like being able to kill most characters in the games. I least in the Outer Worlds you could kill I think everyone. But then those choices don't have follow-on consequences that make sense. So for example, in the Outer Worlds 1, I created a bit of a kerfuffle by killing like the mayor of the place in Edgewater, which is like the first city or the first you could say camp or what would you call it? Estate? What do they call it? Outpost, I guess. The first enclave that you kind of go to. And sure, I was able to kill him. And then the result of that was that all of the town basically became hostile to me, which makes sense in the short term, right? That is, player action that has consequences, and I don't mind that. But then the thing that I mean by it doesn't feel organic is that I could never get back in the good graces of the people. I could never go back and, help the town in other ways. I could never offer to trade or offer for supplies or, just find a way to make peace or have just a parlay. So that's what I mean by the Bethesda formula, that, compulsion games. Is it compulsion games? It might be compulsion games. No, it's not compulsion games. It's Obsidian, sorry. That Obsidian seems to use for the Outer Worlds is it's limited in a way that feels like as soon as you remove the mask, you see that it was all, make believe. So sometimes it's like I would prefer a linear game where you're not giving me choices, where you're not letting me kill everyone, because then you can actually give me a good experience rather than the experience that I had in the Outer Worlds one, because there was actually a companion character that was in Edgewater that I could have gotten just a few steps away from where I killed that last guy. And if I'd gotten him first, it turns out that maybe I could have killed the mayor without any too many problems. But because I did it in the order that the game allowed me to, and I engaged in that system in the way that I chose to, I wasn't able to ever get that companion again, which is weird because it's like if you're just going to be a companion character, can I at least like make peace with him? Can I at least explain my side of the story? My side of the story was pretty much that mayor guy pissed me off and I killed him. But I feel like if I had said it to him, maybe he would have understood, and that's what I want in my RPGs. Sympathetic companion characters. That's what I want. Okay. Yeah. So 2025, as far as Microsoft first party, is looking great. There's no denying it that this is looking like a great year. And this is exactly the kind of year that in other contexts would have started to bring back some prestige to the Xbox brand, you know? And I feel like I see a lot of Xbox fans that feel somehow betrayed or they feel hurt by the fact that most people do not care that they don't give them the credit that that they feel they deserve because the brand is finally bringing out the kind of games that most people would actually enjoy. And I'm sorry to tell you, but you know why? Because exclusives matter. Because you can marry the most beautiful woman in the world, but if she fucks everyone else, it's not really the same, is it? And in fact, I was just thinking about this when I was hanging my laundry outside. Xbox is the worst place to play Microsoft games. Do you guys realize that? You can play them better on PC. Sometimes you can even play them better on low-end hardware PC, like the handheld consoles. Like when Starfield could run at a higher than 30 frames per second frame rate when it first came out on a Asus ROG Ally or whatever, versus on the Xbox Series X. Games that belong to Microsoft, like Ghostwire Tokyo, run better on the base PS5 than they do on either of the Xbox consoles, let alone PC, right? Because with PC, you have fluid hardware that can push the boundaries of any game that runs on that platform far beyond what a console can do, especially with the new cards coming out, right? PC fans, your time in the sun. Of course, NVIDIA has lied to you with the whole, oh, 5070 can do what a 4090 could. It's like, boy, come on. We all know that NVIDIA is a lie. But the good thing about PC gamers, at least, is that when it comes to their hardware, that's really all they care about. So they put a lot of attention into, like, hardware reviews and graphics cards reviews and all of these tiers and everything. So I don't really know why Jensen even bothered to lie to PC gamers, because it's like, bro, by the time they even get access to be able to buy the cards, for most of them anyway, they're going to see reviews. And the good thing about PC reviewers, at least the ones that I watch, is that a lot of them are honest about what it is that the card can do. My personal ones are, I think, JS2 Cents. I think I like his channel when it comes to PC parts, but that's besides the point. The point is that PC can obviously run games, depending on the hardware, better than what the Xbox consoles can do. Now, with the advent of the PlayStation 5 Pro, and whether that is Sony's mandates or Microsoft's developers' willingness to have a Pro version out for, Pro patch, that pretty much guarantees superiority over Xbox. You realize that Xbox is the worst place to play Xbox games. Isn't that crazy? That's literally you after 10 years, you've been trying to bag this beautiful girl. Then you marry her, and then not only do you find out that she sleeps with anyone and everyone else, but that she does things with other people that she doesn't even do with you. She is more of a performer. She puts on more performing arts in the bedrooms with those other people. So how could we turn around and give you prestige? And I was listening, to some of those Xbox podcasts again, and they feel like we are overdoing it, right? Like PlayStation fans are just poking them in the eye every single time with this whole ha ha, when will they come to PlayStation? And they're asking, when will it stop? Boy, the answer is never. How is your wife sleeping with everyone on the streets and giving them better treatment? She cooks better, she cleans better at other people's homes. And you want us to stop teasing you about it? No, we'll always make fun of you about it. Like, boy, she's for the streets. And so you don't get the prestige. Okay? Now, listen. You've tried the whole Game Pass angle. The whole Game Pass angle. Yes. Haha, PlayStation fans. Haha, you have to pay $70 for a game, and I get to get it on Game Pass, quote unquote, for free or for a low monthly sum, whatever it is. Wow, it's 2025. We're not gonna sugarcoat it anymore. We don't have to pay $70. These games are special to you, but they're not special to us. I'm sorry. We have a plethora of games. We can just wait until it goes on sale. Like, yeah, we don't like you're just one of. This is the thing. It's like this woman that you've been waiting for, the one that you think is a 10 out of 10, the one that you've been waiting 10 years to finally get, and she's still sleeping around. To you, she's special. To us, she's just option number 111. That's it. That's it. She's unremarkable. Your games are finally good. But that's it. That's the only remarkable thing about it, is that they are finally good. That's the key word there. We've been had good games. We've been had excellent games. We just had a game of the year contender. So listen, Xbox fans, listen. Enjoy the games. Enjoy your journey, just like I suggested earlier. Enjoy the games that you have. But understand that the decisions, part of the journey that brought you here, brought with it the downside of Microsoft wanting to recoup the money that they invested to get you these games as first party games in the first place. And so you lost the prestige and the brand is dying. And you know what? If Xbox cannot find a way to be profitable, let it die. It's okay. It's all right. Plenty of great brands have died. Nokia is dead. BlackBerry is dead. Windows Phone is dead. I liked Windows Phone. I think it was good. Zune is dead. You know, remember that whole Windows mixed reality thing? That's dead. Remember the Surface Studio? It was like this beautiful all-in-one desktop that could lean at impossible angles so that it could perform as a canvas and as a monitor. I always thought that was a great idea. I never understood why they would pair a professional oriented computer with middling specs. It's like, boy, the people that want to use this need the power of a powerful computer, but you are marrying it just something that you just wouldn't be interested in. That never made any sense to me. But even outside of Windows, you can take a look at, remember HTC? Phone manufacturers, right? I mean, they did phones as well as other things, I'm sure, but they're dead. They're gone. Remember LG phones? Those are gone. Sony phones are dying. Like, let's face it, Xperia phones, I don't know. How many copies do they sell? 17,000 per year, maybe, to like 16,000 of those to Sony employees, and then 1,000 to some unfortunate souls that have to go and get them. Concord is dead. It's okay. It's all right. Things die. In 2025, there are no more chances, no more second guesses, no more forgiveness. I think it's a real shame that if all of these games, the ones I listed, Fable, South of Midnight, Doom, Avowed, The Outer Worlds 2, all of the other ones that are coming, including the Call of Duties, including the Minecrafts, if all of these games that Microsoft owned were actually exclusive, you will see a tremendous turnaround this year. You will see a year-over-year improvement of multiple hundreds of percentages because they are far behind, but that's fine. But the point is, they will sell oodles amount of copies. Not only that, but they will have it paired with Game Pass. While I still think that day and date is a mistake, and I would suggest that they will have to get rid of that. But let's just imagine things as they are. They will pair that with Game Pass, and then they would also have Grand Theft Auto 6 coming out. Not exclusive to them, sure, but between their exclusives and the fact that they can play Grand Theft Auto 6, which PC cannot, very compelling. Very compelling year. And this is why exclusives matter, man, because this would have been the way to turn things around in a big way. Why would this work? How do you know? How do you know guaranteed that this strategy would work? Because this is the same strategy that turned around the PlayStation 3. Killer games. It doesn't matter how your hardware starts, if you manage to bring out amazing killer games, people show up. It's how the PlayStation 3 generation turned around. And Microsoft could have pulled off the same thing, but they didn't. They chose not to. And that's a real shame because it would have been one of the most amazing comeback stories ever in tech. It doesn't even matter whether you like one side or the other, whether you like PlayStation or Nintendo or whomever. Like that kind of a comeback, like this year, all of these games exclusives, including Call of Duty, including Minecraft, including all of those other, major IPs that they have under the belt now, like the Overwatches and everything like that. Dude, this would have been one for the history books. I think this year would have been the year where everybody stood up to take notice. But now they are just a laughing stock. It is what it is. I think that this year, everyone should enjoy the journey. If whatever journey, wherever you happen to find yourself, there it is. But I think, unfortunately, for the Xbox console, the journey might be at an end. Because if these games cannot save you, what will? So that's it. That's a video for today. And I'll talk to you next time, where I will hopefully keep on track of the news.